Yeah, Shred. How are we? Good evening, Wednesday night, or wherever you are in the world. I've got a good guest with me tonight. Do you know what? I thought I'd bring our WhatsApp chats, Asim, to the world. How are we, mate? How are
we need more than an hour then if you're going to bring our WhatsApp chats over to YouTube, mate.
They go through some gear on there, lad. Bloody hell, Jesus Christ. How are we?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I thought we were going to have a really quiet 2 weeks of boredom, watching Szoboszlai free kicks. I think the good thing about this season is we've got a lot of Szoboszlai free kicks to go through, and we don't have to watch that same old one that we've been watching over the last 5 years. But it's kicked off, hasn't it, bro? It's kicked off.
Mate, you know what? I actually expected it to be crazy, you know. I actually expected this international break was going to... You can't finish on the game we did and expect it to be quiet. Not after what's been going on, Asim. It's, look, we've gone in depth talking about it. We always have the whole fucking season. We could... Do you know what, Asim? I could scroll through our chats 5 months ago and it's the same shite. And I said that on your show the other night and it was great to be on again. I've been missing, as you know, with what's going on in the Middle East. I've just took a little break. To be honest, Asim, I needed a break because this team has fucking drove me crazy this year.
He needed a break, but you could have spared yourself looking up all the time in the sky thinking, what is that? Honestly, it's a lot more serious than that. I know we can joke about it and stuff like that, but yeah, man, it's mad. It puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Honestly, it's mad.
So it's been getting hammered in the skies at the minute in the Middle East and fucking hammered by Brighton. So, but look, do you know what, Asim? I just want to say, look, there's 88 joining. He's just tuning in. I'm going to go through some of the comments quick, even though Mark. We've got our regulars, Tash, as you know, is Bobby in the house, Mark. And we've got some new people who's tuning in. HSM1 said, tune in for the first time, Red Live. Hit the likes, people. Brilliant. Do you know what, mate? Like, look, I thought today was the perfect chance. And before we go into it, I just want to say to people, look, I'm going to try and have our chat and then we're going to do a Q&A a little bit just as we move on. So the problem is, it's hard to go through the comments, as you know, with the topics we've got at the minute, because fuck me, it is. And do you know what? I feel sorry because we keep repeating ourselves. You do your own shows. Obviously, I've got my shows on here with the boys. But I'll tell you what, mate, today and yesterday is endless what's fucking coming out. But before we go into what's happened today, Mo Salah going. That was a big one, though.
Just a bit, man. We were talking about last night, and we've been talking, like you said, behind stage as well. And it was, I think Gene said it. It was expected, but it was unexpected and expected at the same time. But obviously, we were prepared for it, especially what happened after the Leeds game. There is upheaval behind. Off the pitch, upstairs, is upheaval on the pitch, some would say as well. There's no synergy, there's no relationships on and off the pitch. There's a question mark on numerous players. There's a question mark on the likes of Michael Edwards, question mark on likes of Richard Hughes. What's happening with the multi-club ownership? Liverpool right now, like, honestly, it's a pack of rebels that you do not know what you're getting on the pitch, and you probably don't know what you're getting off the pitch as well. And it's anyone's guess. I know we all have our theories, but honestly, just be prepared for a load more of surprises this summer. But going to the king himself, like the word generational, the word legend, it's overused in not just a footballing sense. It's overused in a sporting sense. But this guy literally, and I've always said it, this guy transcended not just only football, he transcended sport, because he was more than a sportsman. He was more than a footballer. He was an icon. He is still an icon. He will always be an icon. He was a symbol. He was a carrier of dreams. And he had the aura. And just to talk about other sportsmen, he wasn't, like I said, he wasn't just a footballer. But if you want to compare him to other sportsmen, he had the aura and presence and the likability of someone like a Roger Federer, but the drive and the hunger of someone like a Cristiano Ronaldo, and pair them up, you'll have some individual. And honestly, you see, and I'm not just saying it just to wax lyrical about the human being. This guy literally brought communities together, and we've seen it. The the antisocial behavior, the anti hate crime and all that sort of. This is just a proof of what this guy did. He brought the city, he brought the fan base together, and just good luck replacing him, because he was the perfect, and he still is, and he will always be, I repeat, the perfect ambassador and the perfect representative of this beautiful and wonderful football club that we support.
Yeah, do you know what, mate? Like, I always, obviously, as I say, I've got work and businesses in the Middle East, as you know. I always had a major connection to Mo Salah because he's fucking everywhere, lad, in the Middle East. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, he's the most talked about player in the Middle East. Because you know what I think, with regards to the Middle East in particular, you know, Egypt and stuff, they've never really had a player like him be so out there in the world as good as he is. So, do you know what? I've watched a few, because they usually have the, you know, like they have the Middle Eastern, like, Champions League type of thing. And you get the odd Arab player in there, but they're never as good as anything like he's. This is a one-off for them. You ask any Egyptian, they'll tell you, mate, like, fuck me, with the levels he's gone. I know Omar Marmoush come in. They feel quite happy that they've got something else coming through. But he'll never be anywhere near the king. And fucking hell, mate, I seen that picture yesterday of the, you know, like, the, fucking hell, what was it? All the records he's broke. Mate, everything is fucking in his name.
So those two images side by side.
Yeah.
It was mad. It was mad. It was mad.
Only cabinet, mate. Fucking hell. You know what I mean? He's just got everything, mate. Apart from one thing, which I think he should have gotten, is the Ballon d'Or. But I mean, you know, when he hangs his boots up, and I can't see him, you know, staying around too much longer, Asim. Let's be honest. I think this year for Mo, we'll go into details, because that's what the show is about. This show is about what the fuck's going on at Liverpool. And I reiterate that, what the fuck is going on at the minute, because, do you know what I mean? I think, though, from when I seen the Salah thing, when I read Liverpool's post, I think they weren't going to put that out there. I don't believe, Asim. They did not want that coming out. Well, look at they're saying his wishes to announce the thing. And I'll be honest, mate, I just don't think Liverpool have got a grip at the minute. They need to get a grip, because before you know it, mate, you're up shit's creek. And I think we're going down that avenue. And, you know, Mo this year, he brought a lot to light, didn't he, in that interview? You know, look, don't get me wrong. Everyone has the for and against it. You know, for me, I didn't like it because it was like, with what was going on in the pitch, I thought, fucking hell, that's all we need. And I'm sure we could agree on that. But he doesn't hold back, Mo, and that's one thing that you've got to respect. He will tell people as it is, and I think you'd only get that from superstar players, Asim.
And you get it from Arabs, as you know, as well.
Yeah, don't fucking hold back them.
They don't hold back. They don't hold back, and it is a cultural thing as well. But I agree with you. I don't know if you remember, I had my theory in January. I think, just because it's important to provide a bit of context to the whole Mohamed Salah story. I think he wouldn't have got a new contract, Ben, last summer, if a couple of things. If he didn't have an all-timer season and the pressure to give him the thing is, they might have given him a 1 year contract, but because of that all-timer, he held all the cards. And then when you lose your born and bred Scouser,
that was it.
I think they couldn't afford 2 out of the 3 leaving, and it would have just left Van Dijk after winning the league. That was really, really good bad PR, not just bad PR, but just a bad move, and they just couldn't do it. I thought Mohamed Salah worked that contract, and some people say, you know what, rightly so. If you're going to come out with that all-timer season, you deserve everything that you get. But I don't think. I think there's a reluctancy from the club to do it because of the business model that they like to use, as we know. Fast forward a couple of months, his decline starts appearing. Different reasons, we've discussed it in length as to why he wasn't performing. He has that outburst after the Leeds game. But I think that even the club were flirting with the idea, just as the decline started from the mid-season or earlier on this season, that they were looking to do a deal with the Saudis, and they might have even got a deal. Now, I firmly believe if they got a deal in January, got a fee for him, albeit a small fee, 20, 30 million, whatever you want to call it, I think they would use those funds to really press their interest in someone like Semenyo, because we were told Liverpool really liked Semenyo back in last January. So I think that would have happened. but Salah probably got a sniff of it. He used the outburst as not a political stance, but just to get run the narrative. And now he went to the AFCON. There was no apology from his side. There was an amicable handshake that we were told. And now with what's happened now in terms of our decline, I think they probably thought, you know what, you hold the cards that you've got an extra year. We wanna bring someone in, but we don't want to give you the minutes that you want next year. If you think you're not getting the minutes now, then it'd be a lot worse when we've got a couple of replacements coming in as well. And I think it suited all parties. And ideally, the club would have liked a small fee, and that's why you gave him a 2-year contract to preserve his transfer value. But I think they probably think that if we really want to attract the caliber of player, we need to dish out a hefty transfer fee, and we have to dish out some decent wages. So in the club's perspective, just to get off 400 grand a week off the wage book, it makes sense. But it also gives him the option. It opens the doors for him, not just for the Saudis, not just for the America aspirations, if he has any over there, but it also gives him a year, maybe 2 years in Italian league, someone like a Napoli, someone like a Juve. And obviously his agent and himself, he'll make money wherever he goes, Ben. I don't think it's all about money. And I think he's proved that as a player over the years. That if it was just about money, many, many, many players would have said, okay, if you don't think I am the dog's bollocks anymore, I'm happy to sit on the bench and pick up my wage packet at the end of the week. But he also wanted to hold the narrative, be transparent with the fans, go out on his terms. And I think that's what he deserved. And the club, whether it's reluctantly accepted that, and at the end of the day, you have to give him some credit that they got up and shook his hand. And it's an amicable, sort of end of relationship. And it's nothing but he deserves, because we don't want the spat even going into the summer, and it'll just cloud every single thing, because from now up until the end of the season, it needs to be a celebration of his career, and hopefully go out on a high, maybe with some silverware as well. You never know.
Asim, look, do you know what I said on our show last night? We've wrote off a couple of seasons with this fella, and the likes of Van Dijk as well, because they're in the same mould, aren't they? They've been so crucial.
100%. 100%.
Alisson, even Robbo, mate, he needs a massive fucking send-off. He'll be the next that'll come out and say something, I believe, Asim.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think Robbo. I've got this feeling Simicast is coming back, lad, to be honest.
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me. Because do you know what? I get the feeling that with regard, I think Liverpool need to spend a fair few quid again, Asim. I'll be honest. And
you know what stood out for me yesterday, Ben? Robbo's Instagram. It was a tribute, but there's one line that stuck out. I don't know if you caught it. He said something, I'm paraphrasing. He said something, and he was talking about his professionalism and stuff like that. But he goes, the professional, and some may take note of this professionalism that you've got. I think that was a little jab at some people in the squad. You know what? There's an example you can follow, but you're not following him.
Who would you say I'd put money on Canate there? I don't.
How long's the list?
All of them.
I've got a book here, mate. I've got a pen. Let's write them all down.
Fucking hell, mate. Do you know what? I also think wavering the. Do you know what? I get the feeling, that's right. Is that shouts out Kingsley there. I have a feeling though, mate. They've kept him happy because they know you can't fucking keep him quiet, mate. And I think if you fucking piss Mo Salah off, he'd have dropped the fucking bomb on Liverpool. And he'd have made them look stupid because, Asim, let's be honest, right? And Andy made a good point to me. I can't remember whether it was on here last night or off here. Fuck me, they've been talking about this manager, mate. Let's make no mistake. They sit on his couch all the time. You know what I mean? Asim, if you asked him,
I believe you. I believe you.
If you ask Mo Salah what's going on at Liverpool, I don't think, I know. He wouldn't say fucking good things about Liverpool right this second, Asim. I think you'd agree on that. There's shit going on all over the club at the minute. So much uncertainty. This isn't even the only topic. There's about fucking 10 I could go through right this second, which I'll go through a couple anyway. But one thing for sure, he deserves to go out the way he wants. He's been unbelievable for Liverpool. And hopefully we can pull some fucking trees up and get some extra silverware, because we wrote off a few seasons and players like Salah, mate, should be leaving the club with a few more fucking trophies, in my opinion, because, you know, I think this year's hit him hard big time. Look, don't get me wrong, he's not the player he was. You could see it in parts last year, Asim. He was slow, and he had like an unbelievable burst of goals, mate, that, of course, it was going to impact him, mate. And what I can't understand is, Asim, is how we haven't played to his strengths this year. It's very strange, and I just think that the whole fucking setup this year is a mess. You know what I mean? But this fella was never going to keep his mouth shut. And he's always.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah,
if I may. Obviously, there have been conversations from January, even before then. Do you think that there is a danger of how he's come out and announced his, I was going to say announced his retirement, announced his exit? Do you think there's a danger of him getting told that Arne Slot is going to be the manager, or we still feel like he's our man going into next summer and next season, and Salah's thought, fuck this, I'm off?
I don't know. The reason being is, mate, Mo Salah is such a professional athlete and obsessed with Liverpool that I don't think he'd let that go lightly, because I don't think he wants Liverpool to go through the shit when he goes either. And it's the same with Jurgen Klopp, mate. You know, when Jurgen left, Jurgen would have been so proud that Liverpool won the title the following year because he'd have felt like he left it in the right manner. And I think Mo's like this, mate. We don't really know what he's like off the pitch as a leader to the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? But he obviously is. He's not as vocal as some of the others. I know he's vocal with the posts now and again and stuff. But deep down, he is a major leader because a lot of the players would go to him. Look at Kirkers talking about that trophy cabinet, mate. He couldn't believe it. You know, he's talking about man of the matches. He's like, he's got fucking about 200 of them. But I mean, we have to make sure it goes the right way, mate. Because I tell you what, from the club's point of view, do you know they fucked it up, mate? Liverpool fans would not let that go because they deserve to have the best possible send-off with one of the greatest ever Liverpool players. He's up there as one of the best. He could be in some eyes. Do you know what I mean? For me, he's in the top three. And I don't know how you replace him. But one thing you can't do is you can't fuck up the relationship. And that is one thing that they had to get right, especially at the minute, Asim, because if they didn't, the fucking fans would pull that ground down because shit is not going the right way for Liverpool this year. And I said last night, I'm really disappointed with Liverpool this year. I feel like the whole top to bottom is just no one knows where the direction of the club's going. You know what I mean? And this is where I come to it. You know, today's news, Asim, you know, Axel has put that news out this morning, that Slot, you know, I can't remember, was it imminent to going or he's
on the verge or ready to accept?
Yeah. And then obviously backed it up with Xabi Alonso. And, you know, where are you at with this season? And what's your take with the manager currently, Arne Slot? Because I'm lost for words, even though we spoke about it so much that I can't get my head around what's happened this year.
How long have we got, Ben? How long have we got?
Crack on.
Look, we talk a lot in private, as many people know in the chat as well. I want to change. I want to change. What's happened this season is unprecedented, especially where we've come from. Reigning champions. You mentioned it yesterday after the Brighton game. I did a fan cam. I called us the worst reigning champions ever in the Premier League history. And you can put any label on Liverpool in a negative manner, and it'll probably be relevant. That's how bad it has been. But I also like to not sometimes, but all the time try to provide a bit of context. And I also look at the hierarchy. I also look at Richard Hughes. I also look at Michael Edwards, and I also look at FSG as a corporation. That did you back this guy? If he's your yes man, and you're going to sit around playing happy families on the round table, then back him. Because how many times have we wrote seasons off? And I don't think that's on the manager. The manager has look. How much can a yes man come out and say, you know, I wanted a replacement for Luis Diaz. I wanted a proper replacement for Trent. I think Rio and Gomorrah is a brilliant, bright spark and a huge talent that's going to come through the club because he's incredibly talented. But at the end of the day, the golfing class, like I don't believe, you know, my thoughts on Cody Gakpo, the golfing class in terms of experience and everything, even though it doesn't look like it for most of the season. You know, it's a lot from going from an international to a 16, 17-year-old kid.
Pressure on the young lad as well, mate.
Exactly. especially after we've been told that this guy he gets sent home because he can't train, and we have to manage him and manage his body. So if you're going to tell us that, then you have to make sure that you've got options. And there's been too many positions, too many players not looking over their shoulder, and that's what made Liverpool really good last season, where we saw the best output from Cody Gakpo in terms of a season. We saw the best output in terms of a season from Luis Diaz. We saw so many players like McAllister and Gravenberch. Even Gravenberch revolutionized the number 6 position in his own way, even though he's not the conventional DM as we know it. But everyone contributed to that team. But we took out so many important parts out of this team, and we replaced them with different profiles, different players, different players coming from the league. And we just thought, you know what, it's going to be a plug and play option. And where the manager is a big culprit of it, he thought, you know what, I was playing the same system. I'm going to put Florian Wirtz in the number 10 and just hang around with Salah, and it's going to work. I'm going to put Cody Gakpo and expect him to be my Luis Diaz. That's where I had a big problem, because a lot of the problems that he had last season, Ben, just to finish off, mate, I know I do waffle a lot.
No. I was just going to say, the one place he did change, which fucking worried me, was when Gravenberch said he's been given a fucking Roman role. Yeah. And I was like, well, who the fuck is standing in the middle of the pitch? Because Asim, I think that's been our worst area this year. And I've seen your threads on it. If anyone's joining in, they probably all know who you are, Asim, because you've got a big following. But if you don't, you need to read the threads, because the insight's fucking brilliant. But you go to the match, Asim, and you sit close to the pitch, they're fucking all over the place.
They are, mate. They are. And that's the problem. And even though we all like the vibes of Frimpong, and even earlier on, he was trying to, and we're probably going to hear him after the international break talk about PSG once again, and because we're playing them. But even if we're not
by the looks of it, fucking obsessed.
if we're not playing PSG, he'll still be talking about them. But he tried to make Milos Kerkez into a Mendes. He's the complete different profile.
Chucked in. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
So it's not going to happen. And the thing is, when I saw that first game, I mentioned it many times to yourself at Preston. I had a really good view of that day, and I thought, this don't look right. We're committing too many players forward just to achieve the same thing, and that's not right. And you think teams didn't study us? So many problems from Liverpool, even from a title winning season, were masked by cheat codes and really world-class traits. So Luis Diaz gave us the intensity. He ran and he busted along. Even the 95th minute, he was still running for you. Trent, whatever we think of him and how he left, no one can deny his quality. What he could do from 50 yards, many people had to travel to 50, 60 yards.
Over the top, just cut all the shit out. We were off. And this is why Luis Diaz, for me, do you know what, mate? The game that sticks out in my mind about Luis Diaz, right, was the one against fucking Chelsea in the Cup. When that game finised after extra time, mate, he was fucking lying down, couldn't stand up. And that epitomised him. He'd go to the fucking very end. Trent, he was... do you know when Trent had the ball and he played them diagonals? Trent must have been like that, mate, because he knew Luis Diaz was fucking gone, mate. And I think Diaz not being there showed Cody Gakpo up this year, lad.
100%. 100%. We had a general default. Luis Diaz in the away games. I know he played in the false nine many times after that as well because of the injuries to Darwin Núñez and Jota. But generally speaking, it was Cody Gakpo in the home games where we had a bit more control. We had a bit more ball outside the box, and we took advantage of his shooting ability. But when we needed someone to have the cojones and roll their sleeves up away from home, where you have to be in no man's land. What I mean about that is in the left back areas, trying to win the ball and hassle and harry, just like we saw Bobby for all those years on the halfway line, nicking it and then turning the opposition around. And then carrying it in terms of Luis Diaz. He's a brilliant ball carrier. That I was sat in the Upper Annie for the City game. The one where he carried the ball and he took on Kyle Walker
and fucking Rodri, and he put the fucking on their ass and shit.
Yeah, that one. That summed him up as a player. That he fell to the ground. We thought, you know what, he sometimes snatches at the ball and stuff like that. But in terms of carrying you up the pitch and giving you a relief, it's what Sadio Mane did and more for years. And And Sadio Mane was elite. Luis Diaz for me was Champions League level. But now, in all honesty, we don't have anyone on that left-hand side. I know Rio's got the potential to be a brilliant player, but we don't have anyone. And then when you've got the decline of Salah, when you got the decline and the injuries of Isak, then it's a massive, massive balance. And people are looking at Florian Wirtz to be the savior. When you bring in number 10, he's going to be the focal point. You have to make sure the ball is going to him in the right areas. Right now, Florian Wirtz. Right now, Ben, Florian Wirtz is playing like a midfielder.
It's a fucking 8 at the minute. He spent more time looking at our own fucking keeper than the opposition keeper.
100%.
Mate, he's fucking constantly running back. Because Liverpool, mate, this is what I mean, mate. The manager's massively lost his way for me. He's gone away from the things that is what put him into the position to win a league title, and that was not fucking tinkering too much. I think he's taken far too much. You know, fucking hell, mate. Like, we started the season, right? Don't get me wrong. We had the winners. Fucking hell, we could have lost all of them as well, by the way. Yeah. You know, the first 6 games. But I was watching this, and it was after the Crystal Palace away game. I go back to this because my mate Adam, who comes on the show, he'd back me up on this. I sent him a voice note after it, and I was really down in the dumps because I just went, we're fucked this season. He's making mistakes here, and I know he's not going to change. I was watching fucking, like everyone else in the chat and yourself, 3 fucking right backs playing. Szoboszlai, Frimpong, Bradley, and I'm like, what's this insistence to keep changing? Because remember, Asim, it was like 45 minutes fucking each one and stuff like that. And I was like, what's he doing? It's never worked. And I think the golfing class of the leagues is fucking caught up on him. Yeah. You know, in the Premier League, mate, you cannot fuck about. You've got to stick to your guns. Because we were all told he was this tactical genius when he came in, the manager.
I called him a genius as well.
Yeah, I fucking have, you know, how fucking stupid do we look? But mate, you know, at the end of the day, when you're watching this now, like for instance, Asim, you said on your show the other day, it was a good show, and you said about, what was it you said? Has anyone got any sympathy for them? And what fucking the answer to your question is that that fucking game against Brighton, that substitute sums him up. You feel sorry that he loses Ekatike, but then he fucking does that stupid ass sub.
Who would you bet on?
I'd have brought the kid on who's fearless and who's going to run at Brighton. Because do you know what, Asim, I think of it like this. What was the score? It was 0-0 at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go and fucking try and win the game and then bring a midfielder into it to see the game out. We got a goal that we caught them off guard. After that, I can't remember Liverpool looking like they were ever going to score. So
I agree.
I go back to it when he was asked when he first came in, and they said to him, what do you think there was a slight problem in Jurgen's last season? And he mentioned about they took too many risky passes that he didn't think they needed to. We don't take any risk now. And the problem is, if you're not taking risk and you keep getting beat, that's a major problem for me. I can deal with Liverpool trying to be risky to win the game and losing. I can deal with that. Because you can be Klopp lost games by going for it to win it. And then you can get caught out at them. But I can't fucking sit there watching Liverpool fucking about with it, not even doing much, and then still getting beat. Because it's like, what the fuck's the point? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I just don't think he suits this. He does not suit Liverpool for me.
The problem he has now, in my opinion, Ben, is, and I was blessed to just sit behind and get that, even when it was Jurgen Klopp and all those managers down the years. But last year, when I was sat behind him on a game-to-game basis, there were sometimes in the game states where, even though he didn't want Anfield to take over the situation, he had no control of it. And what I mean about that is he had the players like Jota, Nunes, Diaz, and Trent, where he couldn't control because they had too much natural tendencies to just go for it and get. If for example, a Conor Bradley tackle, it ignited the crowd and we were off, even though the manager didn't want us to play that way. But we blitzed teams for 15, 20 minutes. It wasn't the Jurgen Klopp style gegenpress for 80, 90 minutes. It was far from it. But it had an imprint. It had a Jurgen Klopp blueprint. Yeah. But now he doesn't have all that intensity, and he's whether he's got rid of it, whether it's a club's decision. I think everyone's got a collective responsibility to it. What now is he has to go out of his comfort zone to make sure he gets the best out of the team. And I've been calling for it. That I don't want you to become a Jurgen Klopp and go towards a cop and start, fisting away and trying to act like him. Don't pretend, because people work you out within a minute, especially Liverpool fans. You can't pretend at Liverpool. There's a difference between pretending and adapting and going out of your comfort zone and adapting and being a bit more animated.
And he's pushed it away further.
And that's why he's lost the connection with the fans. He's lost the connection with the team. And I think the Liverpool players are disillusioned. And it's not a coincidence why we keep on conceding in the 95th, 96th, 97th. If it happens one-off, you think you're unlucky. If it happens 6-7 times and it cost us 11, 12 points, then it's up there. It's upstairs.
A team now, lads. They're mentally gone, and I just think they obviously don't want these performances to happen, Asim, but I just think the body's just not doing it. They need a fresh voice, a fresh direction, and someone who's fucking going to get them motivated, because he can't motivate them, Asim. Because, I know it sounds fucking stupid saying it, but if he was the manager of that Chelsea game at Wembley with all them kids, there's fucking no chance Liverpool win.
Oh, no chance.
It's things like that. One thing do you know what? If he would have built a rapport better with the fan base, people would give him a little bit longer, because they go, do you know what? He's got the right fucking head on his shoulders. He knows he's made mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But he's fighting the fight for Liverpool. He's fucking not. I was having a debate with Ross, and, shout out to Ross. He's all over Liverpool's socials. He's like a new fucking signing for the club with his photos and stuff like that. But couldn't have happened to a better lad, by the way.
I saw that video.
Brilliant. But we were having a debate, and I said, he doesn't take any responsibility. Because for me, saying, I must have made mistakes then, that's not taking fucking responsibility. It's like this, a bit of an arrogance that I don't like, mate. And, and that's what's going to let him down, mate. It's this cocky arrogance. It's as if, like, it's everyone else's fucking fault. He's made major problems this year, lads. And if you don't answer to the mistakes you've made, then people just go, fucking get him out. He's not asked.
Don't make Ross say nasty things now. He might lose his access.
I know. He'll be fucking bad. I'm going to get him bad because he's been doing me fucking wedding, right?
Well, I see what you mean, mate. I see what you mean. I think, and that's why I was never
done with the fucking bullshit.
As much as we adore and love the player and the man in Steven Gerrard, I was never a fan of him coming and coaching Liverpool. I want him to go and learn the game and come back as a winner. And then, have a good crack at it. Maybe he has a crack at Liverpool, maybe in 5-10 years' time. We don't know. But right now, I was never a big fan of Stevie coming in up until the last 2-3 months, because I thought, you know what? This team just needs a lift. This team needs an example. This team needs someone to walk into the changing room and for you to look up to, because it's only 6-7 games. I am not prepared to lose out on Champions League football, because as we've seen it, we've heard the word transition. We've heard the word circumstances. And the narrative will be, if we lose out, God forbid, in the summer with Champions League football, will the narrative and the message will be, now Liverpool are £120 million worse off. And the caliber of player that we're going to get in the summer is not the caliber of player that we would have got if we got top 4, top 5. So I was of the opinion that, you know what, the coaching credentials of Stevie are questionable, but I think he'll give us a 3 to 6 game bounce, because that's all it'll take now to get Champions League, because these are not normal circumstances. We didn't foresee ourselves to be in this position, and we're desperate. This manager got booed heavily only a couple of weeks ago. He got booed about a month ago. And when was the last time we booed our manager? And they were not just a normal little
Remember
group.
He said, Asim, I didn't hear the boos. How fucking stupid is he? Remember the first game that there was boos? It was like it's just a fucking, I just can't take to shit like that, mate. Sometimes you've just got to go, look, I've made mistakes this year, but we'll make it better, or something along them lines. I said, not that, I must have made mistakes and I haven't heard boos and this is wrong and fucking low blocks, mate. You're getting outrun by low block teams. That's a fucking problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're fucking not doing much, and people, mate. The persistence of low blocks, fucking the game's changed, and the likes of fucking, what was it the other day? PSG, constant. People are bored of this stuff, mate. Because you know what, Asim, we're a club that does give a lot of time. 16 defeats this season. How much fucking
Wow.
time do you want to give someone?
Wow. 10 in the league, I think.
10 in the league. Mate, you've seen the fucking away games. Honest question. So we worked it out on your show, but obviously I haven't done it on ours. Everton away, Villa away, and Man United away in particular. They're the 3 last away games. I don't see Liverpool currently going there and winning any of them. Because they all want what we want. They want Europe.
100%.
And let's be honest, if we're not getting Champions League, I couldn't give a fuck about the others, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wasting our time. But one thing's for sure, mate. Liverpool don't make Champions League. I'll tell you what, he won't leave with much respect off the fans, mate, or the fucking hierarchy, because it'll be the hierarchy that get all the shit. So they've got to put their egos to the side and say, you know, enough's enough now, Asim, let's be honest. Fucking 10 league defeats.
100%. I think we won 9 out of 20 on the last 26. Like, you know, we've been watching and seeing and reading all Salah's record. He's been breaking records. He broke hearts yesterday. But, you know, Arne Slot's been breaking records for the wrong reasons for Liverpool this season.
The style of play is exactly the same as the Chelsea game that we got beat when we won the league. It's the same now. So what's the fucking excuse? Do you know what I mean? I know there's been terrible things that happened in the summer, and obviously, you know, it's there where you're sympathetic towards him because he's had to deal with a major thing. But fuck me, this drop off now shouldn't still be fucking occurring. Yeah. And like, I'm not buying all this. I know the preseason was tough, of course, but they were still in a few days after. It's not like we missed like a fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get this. How the players aren't fit and they're fucking about in training, and then you've got Van Dijk saying there was only about 5 players training 20 minutes before the fucking Brighton game.
Yeah.
No wonder they're not winning games. So there's a problem going on at Liverpool. And you can't just fucking watch that, can you? You can't. Liverpool have to act like the club they are. Otherwise, they'll fucking end up like Man United, spiraling.
Oh, as much as he said, I've got similar principles to Jurgen Klopp and all that sort of stuff. Last season, I have taken my press from the great man, and the Gegen press is also part of my principles and all that sort of stuff. But when you looked at him as a manager on the touchline, the amount of times like he turned around in despair when a hospital ball went from Trent because he wanted more control. He wanted to bring him off, recycle it, and all that sort of stuff. Like he said, his substitution was him at 60, 70 minutes for Conor Bradley. But generally speaking, when someone played a hospital ball, he didn't like it. He did not like it.
You could see him like, what's that? You know what I mean? Fucking booting off.
And I think that's reflected in his training methods as well. He thinks he got away with, and which he did, to be fair to him. He won the league, but he had the right players. He had the right players and the right environment for them to flourish. So you have to give him credit for that. But we've fallen off a cliff, mate. And now I feel like this guy is a guy who needs the best players in the best positions and the best profiles. And if he doesn't have that, he doesn't have a plan B. What we were talking about earlier, where you have to rely on some of your man management. And that's where he really, really is found wanted, because he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. We've been waxing lyrical over the last 12 months about how this Dutch culture and his honesty and this and that. It's all right when you're winning, mate. But the acid test is, have you got the balls? Have you got the courage to do what you told us that you are and you heavily rely on and your principles of football? Can you do that when shit hits the fan? And this year, he didn't do it because he went from here to here. Because of that Sunderland game, the Leeds game, where we played with about 10 million midfielders, and we hardly got anywhere near the goal because it was all about control and don't lose the ball, because some team will kick fuck out of us and bully us and get a set piece, and we concede. So
where's our control gone? Because that was what that was the phrase we'd have all used last year. Slot's controlling games.
Yeah. That was the word.
Zero control because they concede fucking goal after goal. Let's be honest, Asim. The goals that have gone in this year, they're like fucking Sunday league goals. Do you know what I mean? Even the Newcastle away game, you remember it? That was one of the games where I was like, what the fuck is going on? They had like 9 men. Yeah. And they were getting beat at back posts. Do you remember? Because I think it was Bruno Guimaraes at the back post started the.
Yeah, I think it was Kirkes that night, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just little things like that. And I just, mate, it's just. You can't kid the Liverpool fan base with fucking not taking responsibility. And I just think to be honest, all this midfielder shit, he's watching PSG too much because they play with quite a fair few midfielder type players and, wingers who are now fucking number 9s and all that shit. And I think the worst thing that he's done is constantly be obsessed about the opposition. It's like he doesn't trust his plan A anymore. So he worries too much.
True. But I don't mind him being obsessed with someone like PSG because normally,
but not fucking like Brighton's of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But where I have a problem, if you're gonna be obsessed, if I'm obsessed with the bird, I know everything about her. I'll stalk her. I'll do everything. I know everything what she does. But if he's obsessed, which he is, because the amount of times he goes on about PSG, then at least replicate it to just like them. You're obsessed and you talk about them 24/7, and you can't replicate what they're doing. So if you want the technical players to pop it around you and create a little combinations in midfield, like what you talk about with Dembele coming on the halfway line, being the extra midfielder, then you got the inverted fullback on the left-hand side in Mendes can go and roam and maraud, and then you've got the right back like Hakimi who can be one of the world's best right back on his day in what he does. If you're going to be obsessed with the team, then be good at it. Be good at it. That is the big one, and that is, I call it arrogance.
This obsession,
100%, and this obsession has big time failed. Because if you're gonna, like I say, if you're gonna be obsessed with it, then make sure you get it right. And I called it arrogance. I called it an oversight as well, because I think as a club and the manager, Ben, because he kept on talking about low block. We talk about the obsession of PSG. He was obsessed with that game at Nottingham Forest at Anfield last season as well.
Bringing it up, yeah.
He kept bringing it up, low block. And we bought the players, like we've got some God-given right to play football on the halfway line this year, where we thought, you know what, we'll bring Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai's counter-pressing and shuttling across and covering for Salah wasn't good enough. We underestimated the chance creation and control and the progression that Trent gave us from right back. Trent, the irony is Trent got a lot of shit in terms of his 1v1 defending, Ben, and rightly so, because he was an average 1v1 defender. And he still is.
Brain dead at times, wasn't he?
But the irony is, as a structure, when Trent was playing, he didn't need to go like 50, 60 yards to impact the game, because he could do it with his passing. So the irony was that Trent improved and consolidated our rest defense. The moment we lost the ball, we were in a decent position. But what I call arrogance is we thought we're going to play the football on the halfway line and we're going to just try to break down a low block. Every single team. That's why you're buying them park a bus
to plug the fucking gaps. You know what I mean? Through the 100%. Defenses, and the whole point is you want Florian Wirtz to have the most touches of the ball, because he's the one finding the gaps. But we just haven't done that. We've
been bullied. We've been bullied. And teams have worked us out. Yeah. Park a bus against Liverpool. Don't give them the gaps. Yeah. And then bypass. Yeah, and then he won. And then win the duels, because the likes of McAllister and the right back is in no man's land. And that's why he just thought, fuck this, it's not working. I think we lost it was like 7 in 12 games or something stupid like that. And then we saw that trash football.
You know, I seen someone fucking comment on my post. I'm not going to say the name because he's a fucking idiot. But I mean, he went, well, fucking Klopp had a shit period. You know, he lost like 6 games in a row. I said, he also had no fucking fans in the ground. Can you imagine if this team had no fucking fans in the ground? They'd lose about 15 games, 16 games on the split, because they're fucking garbage at times. But you know what? Do you know some of the goals this year? Really interesting to watch back, and you see how Liverpool's players. For me, one of the best goals this year is that second one that Ekatike scored against Newcastle, because Kirkers goes, fuck this pass and shit, go fucking forward, and just put it on them. He put that ball into space for the big French fella to just fucking run on and do what is best. Mate, now he can't even get them balls, Ekatike. Fuck, try and find one of them in the last few games. Fucking nonsense. But one thing's for sure is, mate, they have to get the decision right. And, you know, you see Axel Haas's, I know you've got Ornstein coming out, and I'll mention him in a minute, but Axel Haas mentioned about Xabi Alonso waiting in the wings. There's a bit of a mixture on Alonso, Asim. What's your take if he came in? Because I think it'd be a great appointment. And one thing's for sure is he understands that he may not have played it everywhere, but he understands how football's got to be played at Liverpool, mate.
Yeah, I think he's learnt a lot of lessons at Real Madrid. And
I think been good for him, that, by the way. Because
100%.
fucking hell, they've lost out there because he's
Yeah.
a top coach, Alonso.
But that's the thing. Look who recently has done really well at Real Madrid. Like good man managers, Ancelotti, Zidane, and if you're gonna give Alonso the project, then give him 3-4 years and let him do his own shit. Because there's prima donnas.
Wings,
yeah,
fucking like Real Madrid did.
There's prima donnas there, and they need something. And if you're gonna give it and put your trust in Alonso, then you have to let him do his shit. And Selection, is a big guy, he's always in our chat as well, and he's not a fan of Alonso. The reason why people are not talking about Alonso are not big on Alonso is because the thing is his football is very similar to Arne Slot. It's about control, it's about positional play, and then going from there and giving the players the license to roam within those zones. So. But I think there's a connection with the fans, and that's very, very important. His history
automatically pick the football style up, won't it? Because Alonso's fucking sat probably out. He hasn't piped his head up yet. He's been out the way for a couple of months now, hasn't he? Been hiding out the way. He can't look at that Liverpool game and say, Mike, if I come into this job, which I think it's going to be him when the time's right, he can't think you've got to play slow football like that. The fucking fans don't enjoy that, Asim. You know, when, like, for instance, I go back to it with Slot saying, no, I do press. We press. We're a pressing team. Pressing managers, mate, are fucking jumping up and down when tackles are going high up the pitch. Look how Klopp was when fucking Milner won tackles high up the pitch. So, we're just not that team with this manager. I don't even know what the fucking identity is anymore, to be honest. But I genuinely think that Alonso's too tactically astute to know that passive football, it's just not going to work at Liverpool, listen. Not going to work. The crowd's too emotional to be fucking passive.
Yeah. What I would say is, regardless who the manager is, Ben, is we need to make sure if that is the blueprint, you're right, the DNA of the football club and the fans, that they won't accept lack of intensity, lack of front foot football on and off the ball, then you need to make sure you've got the players. You've got those players. Because let's be honest as well, like if we had everyone fit this season, we'd have Salah, Isak, and Gakpo. Would that be fair as our top three?
He probably would go with that, but I think as time went on, he probably would have tried Ekitike. He's mentioned Ekitike and Isak at one point.
No, I agree with that. I
can't imagine he would have stuck with it.
Yeah, so Gakpo / Ekitike, and then Florian Wirtz behind him. I don't think there's enough intensity, and it's got worse by what you said about the training methods and the conditioning, methods as well. It's got worse. Where you look at Liverpool, they look goosed at the 70-minute mark, 100%. And the irony is,
question to you, sorry to interrupt, because you've just mentioned about the team there. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I
that's
need
okay.
to say it while it's fresh in my mind. If all are fit, what would you say his best team is that he'd pick? Because I don't know who he'd pick in that mid fucking field. Because he's got favourite players like Maka, but then he loves Gravenberch, and now Szoboszlai's been key for him this year. I don't even think he knows what his fucking best team.
Fell out with Curtis.
Fell out with Curtis. When Curtis has played, he's been one of our best players when he's been on it. Now he's just been fucking shuttled around like a fucking water boy. Do you know what I mean? So now this is what I mean. It's like he holds a grudge a bit on some players, mate. Once he doesn't get on with them, it's done. Then they're finished. Same with 100%. Fucking Chiesa. And I know he's not the greatest, but I mean, he can't fucking get much minutes, can he? Do you know what I mean? But what would you say is midfield in particular? What would you say is favourite midfield? I don't know.
Well, his favourite midfield is, let's say everyone is fit at the start of the season. I hope it would have been Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Florian Wirtz. I hope. We haven't seen it enough. I think we saw that midfield against the Atletico Madrid Champions League tie at home. We saw that. And I don't think we've seen it again.
But then he plays McAllister every game, so you think, well, is he his favourite one? It's hard. That's what I'm saying. When you think of it now, if they were all fit, Asim, I don't even know what fucking midfield he would pick. Because then, when I look, he'd just play Maka, Graven, fucking Szoboszlai.
Yeah. That is the big problem. And that's why we've seen Wirtz on the right coming into a number 10 position, on the left coming into a number 10 position. We've seen him in false 9. We've seen him on a conventional 10. We've seen him a tip of a diamond. Is because he doesn't know now. He doesn't know now. And and the thing is, look, yes, injuries haven't helped us, but that is the consequence of having a small squad. We're not just talking about a lack of quality in the first team. We're talking about a lack of depth. We gambled in the summer. We gambled in January. And that's what happens. And that's what happens when you gamble, because it bites you in the arse 9 out of 10 times. And then we get told, oh, we're looking at the summer and this and that. But now we're staring at ourselves in the middle without Champions League football right now. I know we're still in the 5th position, but on form, do we deserve it? No. I think we worked it out the other night that Liverpool, I think they might get 8 or 9 points from the next 6 or 7 games. And we've probably been kind to them as well, considering our form in the last 3-4 games. But with 58 points, we'll get Champions League football. 58 points. 58 points.
Someone said McAllister's bald now. Fucking hell, Arnie's got hold of him. Fucking hell. Oh, but what the fuck's going on?
This is one of my biggest sort of not gripes, but it's really sad for me to see our club play, and we talk about the DNA of our club and our team over the last 5 to 10 years, in particular with Jurgen. And I'm not making it a Jurgen show. We're not falling back on sort of Jurgen and crying about the history of when he was here. Don't get me wrong. But these are the intensity and the integral traits that we're talking about is part and parcel of, every single elite, not even elite team, every good team. And that's what Liverpool have not been good this season. But when you look at Liverpool have a scrap, and that's another gripe I have with the manager. He's been talking about styles make fights. But the irony is, against the low block, we can't cut open teams because we don't have that creativity and courage to play and getting behind defenses, and we don't have that wide threat in Salah and Gakpo to beat their man in wide areas. If anything, Rio's shown more courage than anybody else in the last month or so. But when someone goes and stretches the game and it feels like a boxing match, a 12th round in a boxing match, Liverpool look second best, Ben, and that is the killer. That is the killer for me. How many times has the game become a basketball team where in previous years we've seen Salah and Mane and Diaz and
batter teams when it became like that? We'd fucking annihilate them. Do you remember one of the fucking best goals we scored on the clock was that one at West Ham when they had a corner?
Oh,
you know the one where fucking Shaqiri fucking whipped it over and we fucking twatted them, and twice we done it. You remember in the orange kit as well, we done it to them.
Salah scored that day as well, didn't he?
It's always fucking him. But I mean, mate, we'd never do that now. Never do that now.
So when he talks about style make fights, like which style suits us, Arnie?
I'll be honest, I couldn't even tell you what type of team we are anymore. I don't know what it is, Asim. Shit show would be the best way to describe us. Because we're a proud club, Asim.
We are.
I'm not proud of how we're playing at the minute. If that's the fucking recipe we're going to be served, I don't want any. I'm fucking sound. Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it's got, lads.
The only thing we can now do is, Ben, and we hope and pray with this announcement that it somehow galvanizes, because we've been talking about manager bounce. If that's not going to come in the short term,
Salah bounce.
The Salah bounce. It galvanizes the fan base. It galvanizes the teammates. You know what? Let's do it for him. Because if anyone deserves to go out on a high, it's him. He made us better players. He made us look better players. He made us better human beings. He made us better professionals as well. Like there's a competition in Soboslai tagging Salah. Oh, where are you? I'm here at 7:30 in the morning at AXA. I can't see you. That is the competition that he has changed and brought.
Winner, elite Ronaldo mentality that he's the same, but I look at the
let's just hope it galvanizes us and it masks all the problems that we've seen. We will need to be lucky in terms of the injuries. We could get really lucky and see a glimpse of the great Alexander Isak come in, but I'm clutching at straws. But that's what we're left to do now. this season, Ben?
Mate, you know what, right? I just think that, personally, they obviously don't like the idea of an interim, right? Before I go through some of the comments, we'll go quick before we finish up. So obviously, I don't want to keep everyone all night, and you're busy as well, Asim. But it's 241 in the building, and if you smash a like for us, that'd be great. If you want to become a member, please do. We appreciate the comments. Get them in before I go through them. But Asim, one thing's for sure: if they're keeping them, which it looks like they are till the end of the season, you know, Ornstein has come out saying Slot's got the backing. I expect them to do so because I don't think Liverpool want any fucking news out at the minute. There's more so it coming out overseas, as it does a lot with transfers, Asim, because overseas they don't give a shit, do they? Where Liverpool control the narrative of everything in the media. You know, Edwards, he's fucking got everything on lock, as you know. But one thing's for sure is I personally believe that if Liverpool have got any sense, and then because they're not sacking him from now to the end, I think they need to announce he's going personally, because I'd say, no, all this shit saying he's our man, blah, 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 and they're not giving him a new deal. The Liverpool fan base getting fucked off, mate. And they've got to galvanise each other. Do you know what I mean? Look, there's one thing for me, even if Arne Slot won fucking Champions League, I wouldn't have him as the manager next year. And I know to some people that would sound mad, but I just don't. It doesn't matter the players for me, Asim. I don't see Liverpool being any better than the style of play. That's what he wants to go with. He's not fucking changed it even when the goings got tough. He's kept it the same. And I just think it'd be the same throughout. And eventually, Asim, I think, you know, we've got a fucking race car that's drove by someone's fucking grandma. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be the same performance. And that's how I look at this Liverpool team, Asim. I really do. For me, this team's not as bad as it's playing. I don't believe that. I do not fucking believe that. Because I'm telling you, you know, there's people saying other managers come in, they won't get a tune out of it. There's fucking managers who could get a better performance out of these lads. I don't care what anyone fucking says. You seen what they did to Galatasaray. So it's in the locker. They pressed for 90 minutes against Galatasaray. So they've got it in the locker. But I just don't think it's going to be consistent with this guy. And I just think I could see Liverpool just dropping off and off and off. And before you know it, Asim, you're out the top fucking 4 or 5. Like we currently looking like we're going. And I don't think Liverpool have got the time. But what do you think happens? It's one of the questions, actually, I want to put to you. Someone here said, be honest, this is for you. It's from Bolt McPreben. Be honest, who do you believe, Build or Ornstein? Good question.
Build.
I believe Build as well. Ornstein was in a fucking Boston Red Sox fucking cap doing the interview.
Because like you touched on, because Ornstein, I think his information comes from FSG, from Michael Edwards.
Because of his global fucking thing, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the narrative, just like you said. But the thing is, you mentioned Michael Edwards. Liverpool fans, we need to know what's happening with Michael Edwards. We need to know what's happening with Richard Hughes. We talk about Kanate's contract. We talk about Salah's contract, Van Dijk's contract, Robbo's contract. What about their contract? You know, you termed it. We need some clarity. We need some clarity as to what's going upstairs as well. Are you flirting with the Saudis? Do you really want to be here at the club as well? Like, do you really give a shit at who the manager is next year? Because if he's that is a big problem. We don't want the clarity just from the manager's position, and we want the change, of course. But we need to know what's happening with the two guys upstairs, because Michael Edwards he was supposed to come in and sort the MCO model. We were supposed to have 2-3 clubs by now. We did a due diligence of around about 225 clubs, and we come by one. So
I can understand why he's fucked off, by the way. I can't understand if he's fucked off, because he was fucked off the last time when he was at Liverpool. The fact it's happened again, I've got sympathy in that respect, because he is obviously a fucking control freak. We get that. Do you know what I mean? He is. And if this hasn't gone the way he's thought it was going, you would be fucking pissed off, because he's probably thinking, fuck Hughes then. But you're looking at it now, Asim. You know, their contracts don't look like they're being renewed, Hughes and Edwards, at the minute. No one seems to know. And this is why in the title of the show was clarity needed. Liverpool need to tell people what the fuck's going on, because before you know it, mate, you're fucked. And it's took Man United fucking years to get anywhere decent around the top 4. They've been fucking around in like the bottom half the fucking tables for years and pissing about with all that, you know. And one thing they've always been good at, Man United, for instance, is always drawing in massive footballers. We've struggled over the years when we've been quite poor at getting big names through the door. So Liverpool can't afford to be fucking dropping off, lads. It's just, they can't do that.
In my opinion, Ben, I would be very surprised, and it's just opinion, that if Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are both at Liverpool Football Club beyond this summer.
When one goes, it'll be Hughes first, I'd imagine, and then Edwards is gone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
Because if he goes before fucking Hughes, that's a very fucking awkward conversation to Hughes, isn't it? Your boss has just been fucked off, lad. So are you.
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be anything. Michael Edwards could go and nick him for the Saudis and bring him in the same role.
That's the talk, isn't it?
And then sign Salah.
Fuck you, that. And then fucking Arnie turns up. Fucking bands back together. That's the 5% though. I said yes or no. No need to explain. But does Arne Slot manage Liverpool next season?
No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's just quit. But buying space legit, as someone saying. I think he's got some serious knowledge of what's going on, mate.
Funnily enough, I was talking to buying space today for the first time. So look, he was right with the Wirtz deal. So yeah, he was. So fair play to him. I still need to read what he said because I saw that someone sent me it just before we came on. Have you read it? Have you read it? It's a massive essay.
Oh, I've seen bits of it. Yeah, Indy or Avi.
Avi.
Okay,
you get daily bombers. You get daily bombers from Avi.
That's it. As Shay said, if you don't subscribe, you slot in to subscribe. Asim, Elisa, yay or nay? I think Liverpool are going to go for him personally.
Do you think so?
I think with Liverpool, mate, just before we go, I think if they want someone, they go and get him. They've proved that in the summer. I don't think the money's that much of an issue, Asim, personally. But I think say, for instance, we didn't get Champions League. I'll be honest, right? But Alonso's in. I still think they have half a chance of getting top talent in. Because to sign, and I think they'd go, well, it's trying to rectify it. So it might only just be for a year. And I do think Alonso's got a bit of a pull in the market. I don't know if you agree.
Of course, man. The World Cup winner, Champions League winner, order.
What's order about him? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Do you know who would be fucking queuing at the door to play for Liverpool if Alonso comes in? Adam Wharton. He's a passer of the ball. He'll want to play for that fucking manager, lad.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. He made Florian Wirtz the player that we spent 160 million pounds on. So if we're going to make Florian Wirtz a focal point, it'd be a good start bringing the manager who made him to that player in the first place. So, well, you know what? Was when someone asked me the question about Arne Slot, I think we can't underestimate the significance of them because I believe Arne Slot wanted Heitinger back at the club. I reckon. And I think the club said no.
That says it all, doesn't it?
In my opinion.
So
I think the club said no.
Why haven't they fucking sacked him then?
Because they probably don't rate Gerrard, Ben. And if Arne, what if Alonso's telling him, look, I'm prepared to come? There was been talk about from Axel about Alonso's meeting Alonso's demands, maybe because the experience that he's had at Real Madrid. If he's going to come and have a project, he probably wants some guarantees as well of transfer budget, who's my sporting director next season, and all that sort of stuff. And he wants a clean slate. He wants a clean slate with the preseason, with fit players to instill his philosophy. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot. Even we saw it with Amorim, didn't we? With Man United, he wanted the summer.
His career up, that didn't it? Going in too early.
And he said, "Look, I don't want to come now. Give me the summer." They said, "Okay, it's Man United at the end of the day. If you want to come now. If not, we'll move on." And he was reluctantly joined because it's Man United and it's still a big, massive project and a club, but it didn't work out for various reasons. But I think if you give any choice to any manager, Ben, especially at a big club, when do you come? In January or midway through a season or in pre-season, the start of the season? So it could be that where they don't want an interim and they don't rate Gerrard, but someone like Alonso is saying, look, I am coming, but it's going to be the summer.
Do you know what? I think that's the best way to go about it. Look, I think they obviously don't want the interim. I'd have Gerrard just to boost the place up because we're not trying to recreate the fucking wheel in a short space. One thing's for sure is, Asim, if we have to do it, we stick with him till the end of the season. I'd rather them announce he's going, but we'll know that we've got the one we want then in the summer.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
we'd have Alonso. And some people will say, well, why the fuck would Slot agree to that? Because I'm not being funny. If he gets Liverpool across the line, he could leave with his head held high as well as the title because he got Liverpool where they needed to be. It would only do him a benefit. And do you know, with all this shit coming out, Asim, I think when you've seen him in that Ajax game, I think he's been lining up his next fucking job.
Really?
Well, what's he there for? He's not a fucking Ajax.
Was he there?
He was at the Ajax game.
Confirmed?
I'm sure I seen it was confirmed, yeah. People were saying, I haven't seen a picture because I've been busy, but people were saying it was confirmed, yeah, that he was there. If so, what the fuck's he doing there?
We might play Ajax in the Europa League next season.
Fucking hell. Fuck's sake.
Doing a bit of scouting.
Fucking hell. Honestly, if you don't laugh, you'll fucking cry. But you know what, mate, we'll wrap it up. We've gone through quite a lot. And because you know what, I thought it'd be good to have you, just me and you on this today. It's hard for you to get your points across when you're also doing the shows.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, man.
But Asim,
been a pleasure, Ben. Been a pleasure.
You know what, mate? It's been great. It's been good because obviously not everyone gets to all hear what you think because you host the show same as I do on here. But look, Born and Red is absolutely smashing it. And well, are you on tonight for anyone who's watching?
We're on at 10 o'clock. Yeah, we're on 10 o'clock.
All right. Well, Reds, I'll tell you what, keep your phones active because I see more news coming out, and I'm sure you'll agree. Reds, smash a like on the way out, and see you soon. Up the fucking Reds.
Take care, people. Bye now.